Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
I have a statement to read for you here. President Trump and Secretary Hegseth have made it clear that presidentially designated narco-terrorist groups are subject to lethal targeting in accordance with the laws of war. With respect to the strikes in question on September 2nd, Secretary Hegseth authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes. Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law, directing the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat to the United States of America was eliminated. And I would just add one more point to remind the American public why these lethal strikes are taking place.
Why is that?
Because this administration has designated these narco-terrorists as foreign terrorist organizations.
Yeah, they are. They're terrorists.
The president has a right to take them out if they are threatening the United States of America and if they are bringing illegal narcotics that are killing our citizens at a record rate, which is what they are doing.
Yeah, they are.
And under the previous administration, there was enough fentanyl trafficked into our country to kill every American man, woman, and child many times over. And so that's why you've seen a drastic difference in this administration's policy with respect to the last, and it's one of the many reasons the American public re-elected this president and support this Secretary of War in conducting these strikes.
Yeah, because you know what we like with America? Kicks ass and takes names of terrorists. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Here's Jim Gossett.
Shoot the boat and watch it sink.
Pew!
Venezuelans in a drug boat. Demise will be complete. Under orders from Pete.
Yeah, man.
Democrats, they do not think they are siding with drug dealers. Our forces are elite, and they're taking orders from Pete. Each time a boat we take out, their future's in doubt.
Yeah, it's over.
What Pete's all about, he will take them and then break them. Democrats cannot defend opposing drug boats being blown up. No way we'll retreat, 'cause we have a leader in Pete.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. You know, welcome to the show, by the way. It's Tuesday. Can you believe it's already Tuesday, the 2nd of December? Yeah, you know, Donald Trump declared the drug boats and Venezuela terrorists, you see. And terrorists, when they are in the process of committing an act of terror, get blown to bits, okay? For those of you who are listening who maybe were in Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever, if there was a convoy of terrorists or a safe harbinger of terrorists and you blew it up and one of them came running out, you shot the damn bastards. That's just the way it worked. You finished the job. You know what? And I got to tell you, the Democrat Party doesn't give a flying rip about the terrorists at all. This is just the next thing. This is the next thing. It's Signalgate. It's Elon Musk is a Nazi. It's this, is that. This is the next damned thing. And they're trying to cover up for their malfeasance, allowing hundreds of thousands of friggin' Afghanis into the country. And now we got a dead National Guard soldier and another in critical condition. Fortunately, he's wiggling his toes and blinking his eyes, but he's got a long way to recover. And the Democrat Party is doing every damn thing it can to distract from anything good. And by the way, most things, 99.9% of them, are good. Like, for instance, Venezuela is about to become a free country. You idiots. Honestly, if they're terrorists, they're terrorists. Suck it, Dems. And they're also trying to distract from the seditious six who committed an act of sedition. So honestly, I'm about done with this bullcrap. We are going to cover it today, because every time these things come up, I personally, as a show host and an entertainer, feel it is my duty to become kind of an expert on these things. And I take them in and I digest them and I use my reason and my thought and my life experience and I go, oh yeah, okay, they were declared terrorists, so you blow the crap out of them. There you go, honestly. And the Democrat Party didn't give a flying rip when Bill Clinton was chasing tail and wagging the dog and bombing aspirin factories, for God's sake. And Barack Obama was dropping tens of thousands of ordinances without any sort of congressional approval, and Joe Biden murdered 10 Afghani civilians in a botched attempt to take it out terrorists. But what would you expect, anything less? Yeah, and of course, who held any accountability for that? Nobody, not one damn person. But you see, this happened on Donald Trump's watch. And so it's the next thing. It's the next thing, and it'll fall like the rest of the damn dominoes because there's all sorts of good news happening, and we're going to get into all of this right here on the radio program. Last night, a young woman named Linda Moynihan on CNN set the record straight about the difference between drone strikes when it comes to Barack Obama or Joe Biden versus military killing of terrorists under Donald Trump's watch.
Yeah, well, one thing I would note is every lawmaker you played started their thought by saying, if this is true. And the fact of the matter is there is a lot in dispute tonight. We don't know the answers to everything. And Batcha raised an important point that there is a difference between disabling a boat and destroying it. If it was only disabled under the laws of war, actually, they would have potentially been able to make that a military target. But I think a couple important points to make here more generally is, it's interesting to hear the media talking about this breathlessly for hours and hours when, Biden or Obama drone striked. The only thing that needed to happen was John Kirby would go on TV and say, we made a mistake. We're learning from it. And nobody batted an eye. And yet now this has become the biggest story, though.
Not
it's
true
not true. It's not true. Oh, hell yeah, it's true.
Obama's.
You don't believe it's not true? You want to hear John Kirby? Here's John Kirby. Just a few years ago, Biden administration killed innocent Afghan civilians with a drone strike in 2021, and the media just moved on. They killed 10 innocent civilians. Remember this? No U.S. military personnel was reprimanded in the August drone strike in Kabul that killed 10 Afghan civilians, including 7 children. 7 children. Yeah, this happened. Nobody pitched a fit about that. They were plotting attack against an airport using a white Toyota Corolla, and they began tracking the wrong vehicle because white Toyota Corolla's pretty damn common car. But of course, Joe Biden, wouldn't know the damn difference. It's like what's her name, Jasmine Crockett saying, "Oh yeah, Jeffrey Epstein." Oh, you forget there are a whole lot of Jeffrey Epsteins out there. But anyway, they began tracking the wrong vehicle. You might have checked the license plate number or something like that. I don't know. And it showed up at a known ISIS K location. Then they blew the snot out of it. And then the guy in charge, General Kenneth McKenzie, the head of the U.S. Command, and General Rich Clark, the head of the U.S. Special Ops Command, both recommended no punishment for the troops involved, according to the officials. And here's old John Kirby holding no one accountable for it.
Does it strike you that no one is held accountable? Because I know how it strikes a lot of people around the world that you can get away with murder and nobody's punished for it.
I do understand that. We appreciate that. Not everybody's going to support this decision. What I can tell you is we looked at this thing very, very comprehensively. And again, we acknowledge that there were procedural breakdowns. Processes were not executed the way they should have been, but it doesn't necessarily indicate.
This is called a jerk circle of thought.
That an individual or individuals have to be held to account for that. But look,
is there discipline inside the Pentagon at all?
I mean, maybe punished. Anybody can be punished.
There are no charges brought up, but is anyone demoted or disciplined for what happened that day?
What we are going to do, there's not going to be individual discipline as a result of this, really. But what we are going to do is learn from this, and we're going to enact and improve our procedures and our processes to try to make sure this doesn't happen
10
again.
innocent people, little children on the way to whatever the Afghani version of Chuck E. Cheese is, and we're just going to move on. We're going to learn from it. We're going to learn for it. Next time, don't murder children. That's the kind of thing we do because, we're Democrats, and that was perfectly fine. when it came to those morons. Perfectly fine, but because Donald Trump is the president, it's a big deal. And they don't care at all about the terrorists in the water. They don't give a rat's behind. All they care about is the person in the White House and the guy in charge of the military, and that's it, and that's all, and that's that. No kidding. This will last another week. It will be over because it's all absolute bullcrap.
I have a statement to read for you here.
Actually, I already played that, so I'm not going to play it again. But I will play Mike Pompeo talking about this.
It is completely legitimate for the United States of America to defend itself from this narco-terrorist state in Venezuela.
Yeah, because they've killed a couple 100,000 Americans, you see.
By Nicholas Maduro.
Did you not hear that? They've killed a couple 100,000 Americans. It's a friggin' war on America with hundreds of thousands of casualties. Do you understand it now, you dimwits?
Maduro, he's an indicted terrorist, drug kingpin. He's conducted terror. He's put drugs and killed many Americans as well.
Man, I wish some people would grow some balls, for God's sake. What the hell happened to John Wayne? What the hell happened to blowing the snot out of terrorists and everybody being fine with it? Instead, you got Joe Scarborough and his inflatable wife over there. Oh, they were forced into it. They didn't want to deliver the drugs that would kill millions of Americans. I mean, they were just making a living delivering the drugs that would kill millions of Americans.
Result of that, so the effort to oust Maduro that we did in the first Trump...
You know, they were just delivering the gas canisters to Dachau, for God's sake. They were just doing it for a living. I don't know why the hell you had to blow the damn train up.
Administration to go after Venezuela, to try and change the government in Cuba too, right? The nature of that regime.
Zyklon B, I mean, so they had a big old train full of Zyklon B. Why the hell did you have to blow them all up?
Is oppressing its people right on our doorstep. This is a legitimate effort by President Trump, and I hope he will continue to ratchet up the pressure. This is complicated, very fact-dependent. You do have to finish the mission. If you're under threat, you have to make sure that you don't put your warriors in a position where their lives or their health is endangered. We can't permit that to happen. So to continue to prosecute against a target is perfectly reasonable until such time as you're
in other words, you blow the snot out of them.
Fully sure that you can capture them in a reasonable way and that you're not putting your own soldiers at risk.
Yeah, and every one of those people let's just look at it as a boat full of bombs going to the United States to murder people. How do you feel about that now, for God's sake? I'm just so done with these. Oh, I should be careful. I was going to use the P word for kitty cat for the Democrat Party, but you already understand that. Oh, I've got more on this coming up. I've got a bunch of stuff on Tim Walz and the most corrupt governor in American history, and he's also, pretty stupid too. We got that coming up. He's in a lot of hot water. We got special guest Tony Shaffer's going to comment on all of this today on the show, and of course, all you got to do is sit back, relax, and enjoy it. This, my friends, is the Rob Carson Show. Cybercrime.
The House wants me to testify about Jeffrey Epstein, but I've got lots to cover up, if you know what I mean. They'll ask me about the island, on what went on down there. I could go and tell the truth, but I wouldn't dare. I am dodging subpoenas, and so is my wife. We will try to dodge them for the rest of our lives. We are dodging subpoenas. Comer says we'll fail, because if we keep on dodging, he will send us to jail. We are dodging subpoenas. Could find us in contempt from prosecution. We are not exempt. We are dodging subpoenas. drugs transported by boat. Venezuela, you best take note. Cartels, they're having fits 'cause they're men. They were blown to bits. The drug boat, it now resides on the ocean floor. The drug boat, Marco says we're gonna take out more. Yes, their lives are in danger if they take another chance. 'Cause drugs, we won't tolerate. Shut it down before it's too late. No drugs. A boat that was filled with drugs.
Quick question for all the people mad at Donald Trump for calling that reporter a piggy. Would you have preferred he called her Hitler?
Yeah.
Racist? Rapist?
Yeah.
Pedo? Dictator? Fascist? Would you have preferred one of those?
Metallica. Come on. Ooh. I'm a metalhead from way back. Here is Carlos Jimenez nuking Wolf Blitzer on the drug boat bombing.
I'm confident that the admiral thought he was carrying out his mission,
but why is
which
it
is
questionable? Why is it questionable to order a strike to kill individuals who are surviving?
He almost said innocent, but he slipped.
These are terrorists. Okay, these are absolute terrorists.
But they're wounded.
They're freaking terrorists.
This kind of scrutiny when the Obama administration was launching drone strikes against terrorist organizations in the Middle East. I mean, that happened all the time. Okay, and so I didn't see this kind of scrutiny about the survivors, etc.
Because Donald Trump wasn't the president.
These are terrorists. They're bringing poison into the United States. They have killed hundreds of thousands of Americans.
Just think of it as a train full of Zyklon B heading to Dachau. There you go. Let's put it in perspective for you there.
And we need to understand that. Killed far more Americans than Al-Qaeda or
so let me
Osama
just be
bin
precise
Laden
with you,
ever did.
Congressman.
And so I have no problem with the kinetic strikes that are happening in the Caribbean, killing and destroying the drugs that are killing American citizens and have been killing American citizens.
Yeah, me too. I don't give a rat's behind about it. If you're gonna make a wall with the names of all of the people who have died because of the fentanyl coming across the southern border, you'd have to build one about 5 or 6 times the length of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and they're all people who are young in this country, and nobody seems to give a rat's behind about them. This administration, the Biden administration, also didn't care about the hundreds of thousands of children trafficked. Children children trafficked for sex. Do I need to spell it out anymore, you idiots, you Democrats, that hundreds of thousands of little children were trafficked so people could be paid to rape them? Okay? And nobody gave a damn about it. But suddenly somebody's worried because, oops, I guess the terrorists didn't die in the first explosion. So what do you do after that? Well, you kill the rest of them. That's the way it works, you see, because they're terrorists. This is the New York Times. Hegseth ordered a lethal attack, but not the killing of the survivors. Okay, there you go. So he's off the hook altogether. He never should have been on the hook. Pete Hegseth called the Post reporting fabricated, inflammatory, said from the beginning and in every statement these highly effective strikes are specifically intended to be lethal kinetic strikes. They are meant to kill everyone on the damn boat. That's what they're there for. All right? It's like killing a caravan of terrorists riding through the desert in Afghanistan. You kill them all. If they come running out of the vehicle after you blow up the vehicle, you shoot them dead. That's just the way it works, because they will live to attack another day if you don't. Sorry, it's a cruel world. Welcome to it. It's a cruel world, Democrats. It's a bloody cruel world. Admiral Bradley ordered the initial missile strike and then several follow-up strikes that killed the initial survivors, then sank the disabled boat. As the operation unfolded, they said Mr. Hegseth did not give any further orders to him. It said that Admiral Bradley ordered the second strike to fulfill a directive by Mr. Hegseth to kill everyone. That's the way it works. End of story, Mark Kelly. Let's get back to your court-martial. Mr. Hegseth specifically ordered an execution of shipwrecked sailors in violations of the laws of war. No, that's not true. He said you go after the boat, you kill everybody on the boat because they are instruments of terror. That's just the way it is. Batya Ungar-Sargon is fantastic. She is so good at distilling these things. Here she is making the panelists on CNN look like a bunch of idiots, which isn't hard because they're always a bunch of idiots.
Well, first of all, the story has been massively misreported. So you have actual headlines saying that Hegseth gave the order for the second hit.
No.
That wasn't in the initial Washington Post article, which claimed that following, by hearsay, somebody claimed to have heard Hegseth say, we have to kill everybody.
Oh, so you claim somebody heard this in the background over the interweb in a text message.
Therefore, the Admiral gave the second hit. So I just want to clear that up. I think that's why Hegseth wrote the tweet, is to just correct the record. But what I don't understand is it is the Secretary of State's right to determine who is a terrorist and who isn't.
Yes.
The Secretary of State answers to the executive branch. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has determined that these boats are carrying terrorists, which makes the attacks on them legal. And the only question is whether that boat was disabled or whether it was destroyed. If it was destroyed, how are there still live people clinging to it? And if it was only disabled, let me just finish the point, then it was still a threat, meaning it was still a legitimate target. So I'm very confused. And by the way, I've spoken to a lot of veterans today who are also very confused by all of this bipartisan outrage. When working class Americans in those forgotten Rust Belt communities where you have high schools where 5 kids have overdosed and died, when they see him blowing up those boats, they feel like he sees their pain.
Yeah, there you go. So there you go. So I have no pity whatsoever. And again, the only reason Democrats are pitching a fit about they don't give a damn. If they didn't give a damn about 350,000 children being trafficked for sex, and they didn't give a damn about several hundred people dying of fentanyl poisoning, do you think they really give a damn about a couple terrorists in the ocean? Well, yeah, of course they do, because they're terrorists, and that's the Democrat Party. Jesse Waters said that this is all a setup, and I'm still trying to debate this in my mind.
What we're witnessing now is a setup.
Okay.
The Washington Post leaks a story about a double-tap strike, and the Seditious Six comes out and calls it a war crime. A week after their video told soldiers to disobey orders. It's so obvious, The View sees it.
Well, I know this is why those Democratic vets put out that video last week that people said, why would they need to say what's already obvious? The likelihood of this is it's not a war. We're not at war with Venezuela, but it's murder. It's flat out murder. And anyone that acted on those orders could be held on war crimes.
Now, we're going to discuss this a little bit further, get some more thoughts on it, because I've been thinking a lot about it. Also, Tim Volz said that Donald Trump needed an MRI. He got it, and his health is perfect. That's coming up, and Michael Charbon from Canada joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
We're sinking vessels, one's loaded with drugs. Mow the boat down with U.S. airstrikes to target the thugs. We think it's time to mow the boats down. Narco-terrorism we won't tolerate. Mow those boats down. Stop your drug traffic before it's too late. Otherwise, we'll mow your boat down. Shape up Venezuela or we might attack. Maduro, we will take down. Drug boats you're sending will never come back. We'll sink them all and watch the men drown. We know who you are, we'll mow your boat down. Won't get very far, we'll mow the boat down.
To the town of Portland I said in the guard, Antifa, they are gonna get you hard. To Democrat mayors getting in my way, go ahead punks and make my day. F around and find out, F around and find out. Schumer's gonna find out, I mean business and I'll get my way. Pencil Neck and Chris Ray, for your crimes you will pay. You have both been found out, hope you get a lengthy prison stay. Listen up, Hamas, I am warning you. Break the ceasefire and you'll be through. Democrats, hang your head in shame. For the shutdown, you're gonna get the blame. F around and find out, mess around and find out. F around and find out. In the end, I'm gonna win the day. Find out.
3,500 arrests ICE has made so far. How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals.
She's no KJP, more like Kaylee and Sarah. Her first press briefing was strong. She deals in facts, not liberal propaganda. We have been lied to for so long. And raise your hand. Be polite, or she won't call on you. Meet Caroline, kicking butt and taking names. She's not inclined to let reporters play their games. Sweet Caroline.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, beauty, go.
Come on.
Take off to the great white north. Take off. It's a beauty way to go. Take off to the great white north.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm the only talk show host who has ever introduced Michael Charbon with this song. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. Hello, Michael Charbon. How are you doing, man?
You're not wrong. Rob, I got a question for
What?
you. Listen, the United States military can sit there with their satellite views and be able to read the top line of the New York Times of someone standing in New York.
Yes.
Do you not think that they know what those bales are in those ships, where they came from and where they're tracked?
Yeah.
Why does MS Now still say reported drug boats? Because they know.
Yeah.
Why doesn't someone say that, Rob?
I kind of wonder if there are thousands of fish floating around those boats dying of fentanyl poisoning after that, and I wouldn't go fishing there anytime soon. I was making this comment earlier. If MSNBC were around in World War II, they would have complained the Allies bombing supply convoys taking Zyklon B to the death camps. They would have said, those people are just trying to make a living, for God's sake. I mean, honestly, and that's a perfect comparison, by the way.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is every time you see these more left-wing, like, I have to watch a little bit of everything because otherwise you can't see what the other side is saying.
Yes, of course.
But why is it every single time they talk about Chicago, they never talk about how the crime rate has gone down? How come they don't talk about that in Washington?
Well,
why is it always so skewed? Because you know what, Rob? In Canada, we have that same problem because our media is skewed as well. Not screwed, skewed.
Well, the thing is, this is the next thing. This is the next distraction they're offering. This is the next attempt to try to get Donald Trump for something. And it's every week. It's the same friggin' thing. It's Elon Musk is a Nazi. Donald Trump is a king. Signalgate, that went nowhere. A government shutdown, that went nowhere. Oh, what? Okay, wait a minute. Donald Trump is a war criminal and Pete Hegseth is a war criminal. Blah, blah, blah. No, they declared all the people on those boats to be terrorists. And Pete Hegseth said, when you blow up those boats, the objective of that is to kill everyone on board. That's it. That's all. And so tough bleep said the kitty. What?
1 million Americans, over 1 million Americans died of fentanyl, either overdose or poisoning.
Yep.
I mean, and when you look at the numbers of everything that has happened, of the world wars that has gone by, 1 million Americans have died of that. Trump should be heralded, and Hegseth should be heralded. You know what? The Europeans are keeping pretty quiet because they're really happy about that because it stopped a lot of the flow to Europe.
Well, I think a lot of people, and I've talked to Blaine Holt and others about why so many people in power are upset about it, is because a lot of them were getting a little something from the cartels, and the banks were getting rich off cartel money around the world, and they hate it. They've really, honestly, it's cut off a supply line to a lot of international banks who were laundering the money of the cartels, and there are a lot of people, a lot of politicians in their back pockets. And I'm going to tell you something. Something had to be done, for God's sake, because we have a body count of about 1 million friggin' people. Something had to be done. And if you declare them terrorists, it means you die. The terrorists have to die. That's the way it is, Michael. If you're going to be attacking a convoy of terrorists in Afghanistan, and they're driving along there, and you strike them with a drone strike, and one of them runs out of the vehicle, you immediately gun that person down because they will return to strike again. That's just the way it works. Life is cruel, Michael Charbon. I know that I'm preaching to the choir, the Canadian choir, by the way, but that's just the way it is. This is a non-starter. This is bull crap. It's meant as a distraction to distract from the seditious six, among other things, and it's the next thing to attack Donald Trump, and it's going to do a faceplant too.
Yeah, well, we have a saying up here, it's picking fly poop out of pepper. I mean, the situation basically is that what Trump is doing is, again, taking a stance that people hate.
Yeah.
Because Donald Trump in America ends up being the police force of the world.
Yes.
When stuff goes down, where is the savior? America. When there is a huge crisis, it's America.
Yeah.
The mercy ships, the money that's being raised. People hate that because you guys are good. You guys are
I know,
strong.
we're benevolent people.
Got a president who actually wants to
You
do
know, and the
something.
Democrat parties, they just have to take the opposite tack of everything Donald Trump does, no matter what it is. You know, Donald Trump brought in the National Guard to Washington, D.C. I moved here. 2 weeks later, they brought in the National Guard. Carjackings down 80%. It is spotless in Washington, D.C. And then a psychotic Islamist brought in, unvetted from Afghanistan, drives across the country, murders a National Guardsman, and injures another. And the Democrat Party does what? Blames Donald Trump for bringing the National Guard here. What the hell?
Well, what do you do? I mean, what do you do when you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar? You don't own the cookie jar. You stole the cookies, and someone's pointing their finger at you and saying, "Hey, they have nothing to do. What are they going to do?" I mean, I watched Rachel Maddow.
Oh, dear God, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
I watched that woman, and it's just frustrating. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
I know.
You just want to sit there and say, stop. How come there's never anybody that goes on and says, guys, listen, can we have another little point of view here? Let's take another tack. Because what they're doing is they're basically corrupting people's minds with falsehoods.
Of course.
They show all these people in America are protesting. You have 20 people in Des Moines, 15 people in Louisiana. There's big protests.
Yeah.
That's because those people are all unfortunately retired and feel sorry.
Yeah. Well, Rachel Maddow was there as therapy. I mean, honestly, she's like the psychotherapist mom for the insane cat ladies who watch MSNBC. That's why they pay her so much money to work 1 day a week, because otherwise the crazy cat ladies get even further crazier. A couple of other things. I want to mention something. I saw this. I saved this. I banked this story for your next appearance. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on with Obamacare. It's an abject failure. 35% of the policies are fake. The insurance companies have gotten hundreds of billions of dollars and then sent their money to Democrats. It was all a scam from the get-go. It hasn't done anything. It's a joke. But in Canada, your healthcare system is a piece of crap too. And I was reading this headline: the lack of adequate healthcare in Canada is pushing Canadians towards assisted suicide. Wow.
Well, okay, hold on. I sing to the hymn of the Rob Carson Show and his valued listeners. But I got to tell you, the difference is, in an emergency situation, Rob, if you are sick in Canada, you are first to go, first to get in, first to be saved. No holds barred, no matter what. If you got to get a hip replacement, you may wait 3 or 4 months. But I'm going to tell you, if something happens to you and you need to have your life saved, you will not lose your house, you will not go bankrupt. And the first question they ask you in the hospital is, where's your OHIP card, which is Ontario Health Insurance Plan card, not what's your Visa card. There's a huge difference. Now, there are those people who like to complain, because if you're not, you know what triage is. You treat people who are the most severely injured and are the ones that need immediate medical attention.
Sure.
If you're not one of those people, you're in a gurney sitting in a hallway for a little while, and it's tough.
All right, well,
I'm telling you, it's not as bad as it seems.
You know the other thing that's pushing Canada's toward assisted suicide? Living in Canada in the winter. That's another thing that's happening up there. They're pushing. All right, listen, we got to take a break. We got to take a break. Let's come back. More with Michael Charbon on the Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
Podcast rejoin.
Okay.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
We got more with Michael Charbon in one moment, but I want to mention something. A lot of politicians should be getting coal in their stocking this year. But Birch thinks, as a smart planner, you deserve silver. Yeah. Silver and gold. Yeah, for every $5,000 you purchase. No, you invest. You invest in Birch Gold. Through December 22nd, Birch Gold's going to send you an ounce of silver, which is up 60% this year. So you're investing money, and they're just giving you a free mo. You're gonna make some money, right? You're expecting gold to go up like it has. The last year, it's gone up $2,600 to $4,200 for crying out loud. Unbelievable. Meteoric, and it's been meteoric for years now. So you're just going to get free silver. You can take that beautiful silver coin and you just put it in your kid's stocking, whatever. Maybe just go to a old-timey Western bar and say, "Barkeep, give me the bottle of whiskey," and just flip that silver coin out there on. I wouldn't do that, but that's the way they used to do it. Anyway, if you had a gold coin, you could buy the entire bar a drink, for God's sake. Anyway, Birch Gold knows that next year, with the rates cut from the Fed, the dollar will be worth less. So they're saying diversify. Let Birch Gold help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into tax-sheltered gold and IRA and gold. For every $5,000 an ounce of silver for you and the stocking for your kids, text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for this offer. Again, text Rob to 989898 today because this free silver offer ends the 22nd. I believe in Canada, you can still go into some of those old-timey bars way up north and just plot a little bag of gold dust on the counter and buy a bottle of whiskey. Does that still happen up there, Michael?
Yeah, you got to have a beard and a really floppy hat that only old people wear, but you can still do that. Yeah. Listen, that was the greatest gift that grandparents could give you, right? They would give you this coin and you look at it and you kind of go, what the heck can I do with this? I can't buy a video game with this. Yeah. And then once you turn 18 or 20 and you realize that coin is worth so much more,
I know.
It is a really cool gift that lasts.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Let's talk about other...
You said something about assisted suicide.
Yes.
I wanted to tell you that.
And living in Canada.
Oh, God. Come on, we love to ski, snowshoe.
Yes.
We're a hardy bunch up here.
Yes, you are. Yes, and you're also insane, but go ahead.
It's called medical assistance in death. There are people, 16,000 people last year in Canada opted in this, and it's government-assisted death for people who are at their end. And they don't want to sit there and go to a hospital and die in pain.
Yeah.
They want to have a celebration.
Yeah.
It's very prominent in Europe, and there's a bunch of states in your lovely America Union there that also do that.
Just so it's not available to Rachel Maddow viewers because, they could do it at any time. But let's talk about you got a bunch of stuff going up on there. In Canada, you've got the oil pipeline going on up there. What's going on since since Donald Trump has kind of opened things up with drill baby drill and getting the pipelines flowing again, how has that impacted Canada?
How has it impacted Canada? Well, our unemployment now is at 7%. You guys in the States are about 4.4.
Yeah.
If you recall, at the G7, Carney said that he was going to have a deal by July 31st. Well, that hasn't happened. He moved the digital sales tax against America. Still no trade deal.
Wow.
He removed the commercial during the World Series, which was us saying to America, kumbaya. He removed that. Still no deal. And now we've got layoffs. You know, everybody in the States, as well as Canada, we love our Crown and Coke. Well, the Crown Royal bottling area here in Canada, there's a company, is now moving to the United States.
Yeah.
We've got Stellantis, who's moving production to the States.
They are, yeah.
And they just laid off 1,000 steel workers in Algoma.
Well, you know, here's the deal. Put a damn conservative, just put a damn conservative in office up there. Put Poilievre in there next year and get rid of the Carney of Canada. Let's call him the Carney of Canada, or not the Carney of Canada. What's his name? The Prime Minister of Great Britain. They're the same. They're honed from the same cloth, for God's sake.
So we have a problem in Canada.
Yes.
We can't seem to be able to support our conservative Prime Minister candidates. Every time that we put one up and say how much we hate the Liberals, we lose the election. It's I don't know what it is. It's like it's Groundhog Day again.
Well, this is why we need to annex you guys.
Stop. That's never good. You know what? You got to stop. Rob Carson, I love you like a brother. You can't do that. My gosh, it's not going to happen.
We'll just take Alberta.
Why can't we just be friends?
We'll just take a little piece. We'll just take a little piece. I like to give you a little grief. I like to give you a little grief, but I am going to make it up there, brother. Next year, I'm coming to visit you. I'm going to wait till it warms up. I'm going to come and visit you, okay?
I know. I invited you because I'm going to show you. I said the other day I was eating real back bacon. And again, when Rob Carson comes up here, I'm going to make this because he has no clue what real back bacon is.
Well, in places like California, back bacon means something completely different, but I'm not going to get into it. Michael, thanks for being on the show, man. Where can people find your glorious work, listen to your podcast, and all that stuff?
My glorious work. The Charbon Report is on YouTube and Facebook, and the CharbonReport.com is also there. Rob Carson, love you. Thanks very much, and appreciate you viewers. I love your show, brother. You do a great job.
All right, God bless, brother. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Let's see who's watching, who's streaming. Wes Robinson is new on Facebook. Hi, Wes. What's going on, brother? Vicky Stevens, good to see you there. Chris Schwab, always watching. Greg Carlson and whatnot. Where are my Rumbly Roo people? My Rumbly Roo. GJ Gare, you're there. I do understand why conservative people lose. Well, it's because they're, I don't know, whatever. They don't fight dirty enough. Right? Okay. BF05, that's funny. My grandfather gave me an 1882 silver dollar. I recently gifted it to my son. Good for you. Good for you. Those are cool. I'm not sure what those are worth. The silver alone, I'm thinking they're probably about a quarter ounce, so about $12. But I believe those are probably, I don't know. I've heard $30, $40. Depends on which one it is. 40 and rain in Philadelphia, Valentina. Dude, it's the same thing here in D.C. It's just yucky. Just yucky. We got the Newsmax Christmas party tonight, by the way. So I got a velvet suit. I'm hoping it's going to arrive today. Let me check. Let me see if it's arrived today. I ordered a velvet suit. Because you know what? I don't even care. I just don't even care. I'm living large, baby. I don't see anything about the velvet suit yet. But we're hoping. It's green with wide black lapel butterfly collar shirt and red velvet pants with bell bottoms. I'm not screwing around. It's cool as hell. Yeah, Shady's back again. I love it. All right, I gotta talk. Over on YouTube, thank God it's over is commenting today. I'm not seeing you. Chris Kringle's Attic Buckaroo is on. What's up? Here we go.
3.5.
They've been foaming the runway for a while. CIA Slotkin, who's running point for this domestic propaganda operation, said last month, Trump, not Maduro, is the real dictator.
He seems to be laying the groundwork to stay in power. There are two ways this can happen, both straight out of the same authoritarian playbook.
No.
The first,
No.
a scenario in which Trump finds a pretext, invokes the Insurrection Act,
Sure.
and tries to impose martial law.
Yeah, that's some more insurrection from one of the insurrectionists. You're going to get yours sooner or later there, sunshine. Jim Hansen is a former special service ops guy talking with Jesse last night.
Yeah, no, this is obviously coordinated. You know, I mean, I've heard people say it resembles a color revolution.
Yeah, between the calling the killing of the terrorists, a war crime, and the seditious six. It's all coordinated.
They're running against us. And I think it's time for it to stop.
Yeah.
You know, the idea that Pete Hegseth called in Admiral Bradley and he said, hey, I got a mission for you. We're going to blow up a drug boat.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
What?
If anybody survives, I want you to go back and double tap them and drop an ace of spades on their chest to make sure they know we mean business. I mean, it's like they're watching bad Vietnam War movies.
Yes.
So does it strike you as coincidental that former CIA guys are against and are trying to sabotage U.S. operations in Latin America against these narco traffickers?
Not in the slightest. They've got the most to cover up that they don't want being exposed.
Oh.
And they have the natural aversion to President Trump doing what he campaigned on and keeping America safe, kicking bad immigrants and criminals out, declaring the narco terrorists to be terrorists, and then stopping them from killing Americans. All of that is anathema to these left-wing revolutionaries, and they'll do anything they can to stop it.
Yeah, and Joe Biden had a little relationship with Maduro that kind of allowed Maduro to empty his prisons and come across the southern border. So there's a little bit of that going on. Isn't that kind of interesting? And then all the fentanyl that came in and Joe Biden didn't do anything about it. Could have done something about it. Could have stopped something. Could have stopped it. Didn't allow it to happen. Didn't start seeing these anti-fentanyl PSAs until Trump came into office. Didn't give a rat's behind about unvetted criminals, whether it be for criminality, gang membership, disease. We're allowed to come across the southern border wholesale. We're allowed to make as much fentanyl as they want and have it come in unabated. No DEA, nobody doing anything about the fentanyl coming in. It's almost like they maybe had a little agreement going on, almost a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Don't you suppose that's a possibility? I think it's probably a possibility. Just some food for thought there. And today you're going to get a feast of it. It's going to be like Thanksgiving to the revenge is what today is going to be. Coming up, Caroline Leavitt eviscerates the New York Times for saying Donald Trump has slowed down. Trump releases his MRI results and does a mic drop for Tim Walz, who was retarded, according to Donald Trump. I could say that because Donald Trump did. That and much more coming up in hour number 2. And, of course, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer as well in hour number 2. Don't go anywhere.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 2 of the radio program. Election Day in Tennessee. An insane, crazy cat lady Karen is running against a decent Republican down there, and a woman who's so bat-guano crazy. She hates country music. She hates the police. She thinks men can become pregnant. She's everything that caused Kamala Harris to get destroyed in 2024, but they're spending a buttload of money on her in the state of Tennessee, and I hope to hell that the state of Tennessee is smarter than this. The Democrats have got all sorts of tricks up their sleeve, and they're doing all of it. Donald Trump called last night to an event with Matt Van Epps, the Republican in Tennessee.
She wants to raise your taxes on top of everything else. But she said 2 things above all else that bothered me. Number 1, she hates Christianity.
Yep.
Number 2, she hates country music. How the hell can you elect a person like that?
Yeah, no kidding.
So I just want to give my total support. And he's had it for right.
She's an immature child. She's like 36 years old. And a couple years ago, as a 34-year-old or 32-year-old, thought that defunding the police was a good idea. Now, I don't know if if you think about this a little bit. If you're a woman and you're in a big city, without the police around, things can get a whole lot rapey and murdery. I thought you should know that. But she also probably is one of those idiots who says, I want to go live over and be transgendered in Gaza. I think that'd be a good idea. Oh, yeah.
Crime is, of course, was a major issue in the presidential election, and I know there are some old posts. You've been asked about those old posts a number of times. My question for you today is whether more money for...
Yeah, and by the way, the old posts, she's never refuted them. So how about that, making that part of your question?
Cops on the streets in the district you hope to represent would help fight crime. Would you like more money for more cops?
You said something that's stupid. We can't believe you're running for office and people would vote for you. Do you refute those claims?
Cops on the streets in your district?
So those past comments were at a time when I was a private citizen, as an activist and organizer.
Yeah, that 4 years ago, you were that stupid.
And now as a Tennessee lawmaker, I represent 40,000 individual opinions.
And you shouldn't, because you're an idiot.
And political thought.
Right,
and
so what do you think now? Would more money for cops be good or bad?
I think it depends on what the community wants.
Okay, no, see, you didn't answer the question, so you haven't changed your mind. Dear God, what the hell? Honestly, buffoon. Oh, here she is talking about defunding and getting rid of ICE.
Because some of those you are campaigning with, including AOC, have called for ICE to be abolished. You have been sharply critical of the ICE raids in Nashville, but do you think that ICE should be abolished?
Like I said, I've got 48 hours to flip this congressional district and have...
Okay, that's the answer is, yeah, she still believes in that, and she's skirting the issue. Honestly, ridiculous. Did you know that in New York City, the radical leftists there, they're attacking ICE raids and whatnot. They're physically attacking people, and I hope that ICE and I hope that Donald Trump sends in the National Guard and delivers a physical beat down to these people. I really, really do. I'm about sick of their crap. So New York quietly released 7,000 dangerous illegal migrants, including rapists, killers, and terrorists, and repeat offenders with zero notice to ICE. This is how radical the left is in this country. This is how badly they want a civil war. They do. And if they get it, they're going to get their asses kicked real quick. I'm telling you. But they're that stupid. Todd Lyons, the ICE director, said that issued an explosive letter to New York Attorney General Letitia James demanding immediate action after state and local officials quietly released 7,000 criminal illegal aliens, including rapists, killers, gang members, and repeat violent offenders. This is the kind of crap that they did in Iraq as they were getting ready to get rid of Saddam Hussein. Just cleared out the prisons. That's the kind of crap that they do to create chaos. So since January, New York has released 6,947 criminal illegals, 29 homicides, 2,500 assaults, 199 burglaries, 305 robberies, 392 dangerous drug offenses. The detainees, 148 charged with homicide, 717 charged with assault, 134 charged with burglary. This is a full-scale public safety disaster engineered by far-left officials who are deliberately defying federal law. There's going to have to be heads rolling on this crap. There is going to have to be heads rolling with regard to this nonsense, because the Democrat Party knows without their illegals, they aren't going to get their votes. They are not going to get their votes. You know, I thought it was kind of interesting. You're wondering why the Democrat Party is desperately trying to keep illegals in this country and in these states, these Democrat states that are bleeding taxpayers. They're leaving these states like New York, like Illinois, like California. And Steve Hilton's running for governor of California. And he had to say this, because did you realize in the state of California, these illegal Afghanis who they brought in, they're giving them all this government largesse so they'll vote Democrat. This is what's happening. It is what's happening, by the way. But I want you to think about your salary, and I want you to think about what Steve Hilton says right now, because this is what happens in California for just being imported and voting Democrat.
A few weeks ago, a business owner here in California told me that one of his new employees asked to be paid in cash. Not on payroll.
Really?
Why? The business owner asked. Well, because the employee from Afghanistan was worried that he would lose his welfare payments.
Really?
How much is that?
How much?
$7,000 a month.
What?
That is $84,000 a year here in California. So when we look at...
Your welfare is $87,000 a year.
This massive scandal in Minnesota, $1 billion from the social services system in fraud and corruption. You can be sure it is much, much...
You guys are getting screwed in California, Minnesota. They're not even buying you dinner or using lube.
Worse, right here in California. We already know that over $20 billion in the pandemic from the EDD scandal was sent in welfare payments to people in jail, on death row, people who are dead. We know that over $24 billion was completely lost on homelessness spending. All that money spent, and we still have situations like...
Because each homeless person is worth $1 million to these NGOs and government agencies. They just keep them barely alive.
It's all over California, everywhere you look. That's why today I am calling for a complete and total audit of every part of California's bloated welfare state.
Now, in the Democrat-run states, they're not giving an audit or allowing an audit of the food stamp program because it's rife with corruption. I mean, we're talking about 500,000 people found to have been taking SNAP benefits twice in different states, according to the USDA. The USDA has put all programs under review, will ensure only American citizens receive food stamps. Gravy train, it literally is a gravy train in this case. Gravy train is over. Even though 22 Democrat states have refused to provide the data, we are using every tool to compel their compliance. What are they hiding? Who are they hiding? That's Donald Trump speaking there, by the way. Yeah, because they've been, I told you, last year we found out that the Democrat Party had been looting our treasury to the tune of trillions of dollars. Here's a report out of, hold on me, I got it here, I got to grab this real quick. The state of Illinois, who's run by a parade balloon. Did you see him? Did you see him in the parade? I don't know if he made it down to New York, but the J.B. Titzler, he's presided over a bunch of fraud up there. Did you realize that illegals in Illinois get much better health care and benefits than people who are here legally?
Let's talk a little bit more about kind of the coverage that they are receiving. It's my understanding that the federal government provides no matching dollars for this program, that it's fully Illinois taxpayer funded. What about the health care that they're receiving? It's my also understanding that it's probably even better than people on Medicaid or citizens on Medicaid who really need coverages. Can you kind of talk about that?
This is Illinois State Senator Dave Syverson.
This is an important issue as well, and another frustrating thing. What? The president opens the borders up, but then he says, but we're not going to pay for any of the health care. This is 100% paid for by state taxpayers.
Wow.
The program of health care that they get is actually better than those of our own residents that are on Medicaid.
Well, that's really weird because, I tried to get a health care myself. I'm a healthy man, don't smoke, don't drink, and all that. And it was going to cost me $870 a month with a $7,000 deductible.
So our low-income, struggling families in Illinois that are on Medicaid, they do not get as good as services as these non-citizens.
Okay, well, that probably ends right there, right?
Are getting that are coming into Illinois. So it's costing us significantly more than it costs our own residents. And in addition to the over $1 billion cost of health care, we're also providing free daycare for their children. We're
daycare. When we lived in D.C., my wife, she got a job, and it was a wash. The price of daycare was basically what she was making after taxes. She could have just stayed at home.
Including free housing.
Wow. Free housing, too. Holy hell.
Food subsidies. Wow. Cash subsidies. So the total cost of this program is in the billions of dollars, and that means key programs for our developmentally disabled, for our seniors. These people are now being crowded out. Our own citizens, programs.
Your Democrat Party doesn't give a rat's behind about you. You are worthless because they can't depend on you to vote for them. And you're moving out of their states and cities. So this is what they're doing to the rest of you to keep people living there and voting Democrat. Do you understand? Let me see, we just colored California there. We colored Illinois there. Oh, yeah, we got to cover the state of Minnesota next. It's a total Charlie Foxtrot under Tim Woods. We're going to get to that coming up. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
I love to end a war. How about you? I'm gonna end some more. You know it's true. India, Pakistan are at peace now. No war in Thailand, ceasefire in Iran. I'll take a bow. Rwanda and Congo ended their fight. And in Armenia, I made it right. Next up will be Ukraine, been a financial drain. Not anymore. Oh, how I love ending a war.
We'll clean up the mess Kamala, she did not address. Open borders, he will abort. And illegals, he will deport. Thomas Homan, he will say no, man. You must go, man. Mexico, man, you're headed back. Thomas Homan, he's a former cop. Border jumpers, Tom is gonna stop. Used to be in charge of ICE. To illegals, Tom will not be nice. Thomas Homan, they ought to know, man. He's not a showman. Thomas Homan will kick you out.
You better start packing now.
Thomas Homan, he is your foe, man. You've got to go, man.
We
We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday. We're eating pickles from the dollar store, hot pockets from the Dollar General, chicken wings expired yesterday.
WCBM.
And then it's getting after and going after narco terrorists and designated terrorist organizations in our own hemisphere. As I've said, and I'll say again, we've only just begun striking narco boats and putting narco terrorists at the bottom of the ocean because they've been poisoning the American people. And Joe Biden tried to approach it with kid gloves. And allowed them to come across the border, cartels take over community, 20 million people.
I love it. Unapologetic, not pathetic. That, my friend, is the Secretary of War talking about we are doubling down, man. We are going to continue to send narco drug trafficking boats to the bottom of the ocean with their sailors, whatever you want to call them, their terrorists on board. There you go. I love it. I absolutely love it, despite all the rigmarole. It's the rigmarole. Whoever the hell came up with that word, rigmarole? The rigmarole. I'll have a corned beef on rigmarole, if you would, please. A little sauerkraut on that and some Thousand Island dressing. The rigmarole from the left, more concerned about the terrorists than the hundreds of thousands of people who've died from fentanyl poisoning. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Meanwhile, in Minnesota, Tim Woods, who is a moron, and not only that, a corrupt moron.
Well, it's even worse than the current reports indicate. It's not just a single billion, but sources in Minnesota tell me it's multiple billions of dollars that have been stolen by Somali migrants, predominantly in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
They were doing things like fake...
It's okay to say that Somalia is the meth lab trailer park of the world.
Faking autism diagnoses.
It's a crap hole.
Faking autism treatment plans, opening up fraudulent autism centers, and then bilking hundreds of millions of dollars from taxpayers. This is the biggest systematic fraud scandal, and it's not just a few isolated individuals. No. I think we're looking at hundreds of Somali families and really widespread...
No, you're really being racist. You know, all of these wonderful people coming from the meth lab trailer court of the world and doing it all over the world. Somalians are doing this all over the world. Minnesota government workers blame Woods for the massive fraud amid allegations against the Somali community. The governor also let Minneapolis burn to the ground during the summer of 2020, and his wife Imelda said she loved the smell of burning tires in the evening. Yeah, that's how these people are. I remember I used to live there before it started to super suck. It was just moderately crazy. Now, I mean, there's no way in hell I would ever live there. More than 400 current staff members say governors systematically retaliated against whistleblowers. Doesn't sound like old Tim Volz is very Minnesota nice. Sounds like he's Minnesota corrupt. He failed to act on widespread fraud warnings and retaliated against whistleblowers. 480 staff members of the Minnesota DHS wrote that he is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota to the tune of billions of dollars. And these Somalians, I said Somalians, I know, oh my God, I'm so racist. They came up with every kind of way to steal from feeding our future. $250 million to feed supposedly starving children. $1.5 billion for faking autism diagnoses. Now, to get that kind of money, you need a whole lot of families who are willing to say, yeah, I'll say my kids have autism to get some money, to get a little something. Okay, so to say this isn't widespread in the Somali community, you're out of your nut, by the way. You know what else is widespread in the Somali community in Minnesota? Vote harvesting. That's how do you suppose Ilhan Omar got into office? Yeah, exactly that. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't even give a damn. Here is, let me see, Dustin Grage, Town Hall, talking about Tim Woods.
Not a single bureaucrat has been fired throughout this entire process. We're talking about billions stolen, absolutely zero accountability. If there's going to be any accountability, frankly, the voters of Minnesota are going to have to make that decision.
That's not going to happen because they're stupid up there.
In November.
Democrats are stupid.
November of 2026. But honestly, just looking at that video there, I just have to laugh because the only lazy individual in this entire process has been Tim Walz himself. This is the man who had the ability to do stop payments through his own Minnesota Department of Education.
Yeah.
He had the ability to subpoena the bank records of Feeding Our Future. He willingly chose not to. Now, whether you want to say, like, is that complete?
Generally, when you start off with, I don't know, a budget for the $2 million for autistic kids and it grows to a budget of $400 million in a couple years, if you're a governor, you might want to pull your head out of your butt long enough to see, might be something going on there.
Sincere laziness. I'll let the viewer just decide that because you really could debate either. But also, Minnesota, it's just frankly not a well-run state. We had a $21 billion state surplus at one point.
Yeah.
He raised taxes by an additional $9 billion.
Wow.
And now to this day, we're staring down the barrel of a $6 billion.
Yeah, this is why Donald Trump said he was the R word. I can't say the R word because the R word is offensive. But only to stupid people like Tim Walz. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz been accused of turning Minnesota into a crippled, failing state for allowing Health and Human Services fraud. New charges against the 78th defendant in Feeding Our Future. Kind of weird that they come here from a country where there's so many people starving and then steal from from a charity that feeds children. Oh my God. Didn't we do a concert for this country like in 1985? Wasn't there a big song called We Are the World or something? They still haven't gotten their bleep together. Yeah.
That was Ethiopia.
It was Ethiopia. Oh, it's hard. It was USA for Africa, Brian. It sure was Ethiopia. I mean, it was a whole bunch of places. A lot of sub-Saharan African countries haven't pulled their heads out of their rear ends. That's racist. No, it's not really. They really haven't. That's why so many people come here and live. But thanks for reminding me, Brian. Oh, my God, they're so messed up. Here's Caroline Levitt going after the Somalian population.
I'll tell you what does not add to our nation's character and integrity is refugees who come here under the alleged plight of asylum and fleeing persecution, and then come to the United States to abuse our system and rip off American taxpayers. And as I pointed out, the New York Times, to their credit, it was about 6 months too late, but they did write about how Somali immigrants in Minnesota have been ripping off American taxpayers.
Yeah, the headline was How Fraud Swamped Minnesota's Social Services System on Tim Woods' watch, and it's about the Somalis.
In fact, 86 people have been charged in a rampant and widespread fraud scheme spanning multiple programs in Minnesota. Of those 86, 78 of those people are Somali, 91% of them charged. So far...
Yeah, that's just one of many, dozens of scams going on in the state of Minnesota. And the reason why they're allowed to happen is because they are a core voting bloc. This is why the DFL in Minnesota, they're all upset. The Democrat Farmers and Laborers Party, the Hammer and Sickle Party of Minnesota, they are leftist communists in Minnesota, and they don't care. They don't care. They don't want to make anybody mad, so they just feed the corruption that's happening all over the country. It's not just federal bureaucrat Democrats. It's Democrat states, and if you live there, you're getting screwed. Let's take a break and come back. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer next. Don't go anywhere.
71%, that's what Kimmel's lost since they put him back on the air. The morons at ABC were too blind to see that about Kimmel no one cares. 85% in a key demo. That is what Kimmel lost. Why do they keep him around? To keep losing ground. Still air him no matter what the cost. Sinclair must feel real stupid now. Next star still with regret. 71% wonder where they went. On Kimmel's failure you can bet.
Disney stock was $197 a share in March of 2021. Now it's $122 a share.
Disney must be in panic mode. They'd pull this show if they could. Why did they bring him back? This a funny hack. Suspension should have been for good.
Yeah, Breaker 19, this here's the Iceman. You got a copy on me, Pigpen? Come on. I was just passed by a gang of truckers I ain't never seen before. They were yelling out their windows, "Death to America." Yeah, we definitely got the front door. Mercy sakes alive. It looks like we got us an Al-Qaeda convoy.
ICE just arrested a terrorist in a truck. The fact that he ain't hurt no one, well, that's just total luck. He was here illegally for jihad, he is called. Only a liberal Democrat wouldn't be appalled. We got a terrorist convoy here illegally. They could pose a major threat, a threat to you and me. Terroristic truckers, wonder what's in their load. Wouldn't be surprised if a rig of theirs explodes. Convoy.
We'll catch you on the flip-flop, Pigpen. This is the Iceman. Over and out.
Yorkers made a big mistake. Private property Iran wants to take. He's a fraud, a total Marxist. He's a man without a soul. Of all possessions, the things that you own, he wants control. Total control. Commie, chameleon. He'll take your business right away from you. That's why millions plan to leave New York. They fear the evil that Mamdani can do. Commie, chameleon. Anti-Semite. Oh, how he loves Hamas. Commie, chameleon. Mamdani's gains, they will be the residents' loss.
Yeah! Woo!
Hey, quick question for all the people mad at Donald Trump for calling that reporter a piggy.
Would you prefer to be called her Hitler?
Oh, yeah.
Racist?
Fascist.
Rapist? Pedo? Dictator? Fascist? Would you prefer one of those?
Come on!
And just put the cartoon back up.
I can't. It's just
put the cartoon
sickening.
back up.
I mean,
this comes from the Secretary of Defense at a time when subordinates, based on reportedly his orders, could be facing war crime investigation.
They're upset about Franco, the narco murdering turtle.
Are facing war crime investigations, and as Andy McCarthy said, that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, I'm a little more concerned about troops being told they should disobey orders from the President of the United States without specifying illegal orders, which means disobey orders. That's what it means. They said that disobey illegal orders. They can't cite any illegal orders, so they're basically saying disobey orders. Duh. Anybody who has half a brain knows that. This is why Tim Valtz doesn't get it. Joining us on the Newsmax Hotline is Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, President of Project Sentinel, 2020 campaign advisor for Trump and a national security advisor as well. And he joins us right now. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, Rob. Good to be on with you.
I did like this morning Hegseth doubling down on killing narco-terrorists despite all of the rigmarole. And I said this, and I'd like to know your thoughts. They declared the narco-terrorists, and when you target a boat that is filled with terrorists, your goal for hitting that boat is to kill the terrorists. Your thoughts?
So the whole thing is focused on what I would call a canard to the left, trying to distract from the very thing you mentioned, the fact that they did the seditious video, this seditious six, called for essentially rebellion and mayhem, mutiny, if you will, especially since there's four of the folks are Navy, so I guess mutiny is the right term to describe what they're calling for. To distract from that, they're now saying this is a war crime. It's not. So there's two reasons why it's not. First, these organizations have been declared narco-terrorist organizations, something that should have been done long ago. And secondly, these things were hit with the same process, and we talked about my book before, Operation Dark Heart. There's a whole chapter devoted to how we go about conducting lethal operation. Rob, there's a process. It's been refined over 30-plus years. This was done like any other special operations operation where lethal outcome was pursued. So it's all a lie. And the idea that he personally ordered a assassination or nobody, that's insane. It never happens. It doesn't happen like that. Matter of fact, the admiral in charge of the operation was the guy who basically suggested a second strike. So the whole thing is designed, and if you look at who did this, Nakashina Bertram, whatever her name is, she's the one at Politico before, now over at the Washington Post, same difference apparently, who did the 51 intelligence officers. So it's all Russia collusion, hoax 3.0.
No. Let me ask you this. If you were, say, for instance, in Afghanistan, and you have the home of or a meeting area filled with the Taliban, you know they are meeting in that building, and you bomb that building, and one of them runs out, what do you do to that person running out?
You killed him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
There's a scenario in my book where there were women and children killed incidental to a strike on a suspected leader of the Hekmatyar group, which is one of the Al-Qaeda affiliates. So, yes, I mean, no doubt, people who are unarmed are killed all the time, incidental to authorized lethal operations. So, again, Rob, this is all a canard. It means absolutely nothing other than another talking point and another point they're trying to use to separate the military from Donald Trump's command.
100%. It's the next thing, Tony. I said that if Mika Brzezinski were alive in 1942, she would have complained that the supply convoy carrying Zyklon B to Dachau was being bombed, and those people were just trying to make a living. I swear to God. It's just so ridiculous. It's so bloody ridiculous. And it's also to distract from, my God, Tony, you've got Joe Biden bringing in 100,000 unvetted Afghanis. This has to rip you apart, because I know that how our brave military members who served there and otherwise felt about the Afghan withdrawal. But to flood our country with all of these people, and then when Donald Trump deploys the National Guard, makes Washington, D.C. so safe, you wouldn't even believe it, Tony. I live here, and it's like, it's crazy. And then when this jackass who comes across the country, they're acting like he couldn't get a job, so he had to drive across country and kill National Guard. Are you out of your friggin' mind? And so he kills a National Guard soldier. Another one is recovering, thank God. And then the media blames Donald Trump for bringing in the National Guard. What the hell? What the hell?
So first off, there's no reason. I'm pretty close to the Northern Virginia Afghan community. I've known those folks, and I'm very close to them for obvious reasons since I served in Afghanistan. With that said, there's absolutely no reason for refugees to come here directly. They should have been sent to a third Arab nation who their culture is more suited to their traditions. Just saying. Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, there's a number of countries which could and should have been the waypoint they were sent to for screening. And oh, by the way, there was no way to screen them because the records they would be screened against were lost in Kabul and Afghanistan. So the whole idea they would be sent here like morphine mainstreamed into the blood of America is insane.
Yeah.
It's literally insane. There was no reason to do it other than what the outcome we see now. This was meant. This outcome, Rob, is what the Biden administration wanted. Chaos.
Yes.
That's what they were seeking. That's what they got.
And it should be very obvious. They opened the southern border. They never cared about 350,000 children being trafficked for sex and work. For God's sake, they didn't care about hundreds of thousands of people dying from fentanyl. You never saw a PSA for fentanyl until Donald Trump took office. It's evil, brother. It is freaking evil. I'm going to tell you something. Tony, I always say that the most interesting people that I meet when I go to New York or I fly somewhere, the most interesting people I meet are the people who drive me to and from the airport. And twice I have met Afghani. Twice I have met.
Great conversation with those guys.
Dude,
yeah, absolutely.
Twice I've met Afghani English interpreters who sacrificed everything, their families, everything to work with the military. And these guys are
hardworking people.
Yes.
It's just a better way of screening. That's all.
Thank you. That's it. That's that. Because the people who I've spoken to, I know are good and decent people. They talk to me about their kids in American schools and the prospect, and they didn't because they couldn't get a job wherever. The man who did that was radicalized from the get-go. He was not screened. He was looking for an excuse. No father and husband does that. That is ridiculous to think that somehow America did this to him. Screw that.
It's insane.
Yeah. I want to cover a couple of other things on the other side of the break, including Somalia. Love to get your thoughts on Somalia.
Well, I can't stick through the break. I got a hit right now. So
that's all right. Well, I wouldn't want to interrupt you, my brother. Thank you.
You know our network.
I know, brother. Hey, God bless you. We'll talk again soon. I appreciate you. Everything you've done, I appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
That's okay. He's a busy man, but look what we got out of that, huh? That was pretty darn cool, wasn't it? To hear from an authority on this that I was right. It wasn't just about me being right. It's about what is right. That's all there is to it. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
investment advisor.
We got a frog today, damn it. Talk about it. I think we need a Christmas song, don't you? How about the Seditious Six theme song from Jim Gossett? I think that sounds like a great idea. Here's hoping they get court-martialed, thrown in jail, and all of that good stuff.
Oh, there's no place like jail for Kelly to stay.
Come on, baby.
Alyssa Slotkin should be there too.
Doobie-doo-doo, yeah.
Their sentencing will be a happy day.
I'll pop some champagne.
'Cause they broke the law and they will get their due.
I don't even drink. That's crazy.
I'm watching Jason Crow on CNN. He is looking scared, trying hard to dodge the FBI. Miss Houlihan looked nervous. She was unprepared. I will be delighted when they're all indicted, 'cause there's no place like jail for the seditionists.
Come on now.
In a cells where all of them should be.
Only got to hear comedy like this here.
A court-martial, it could come any day.
Let's hope.
Lock Mark Kelly up and throw away the key. Come on.
There you go. Oh, by the way, the Newsmax Christmas party is tonight. Yeah, I'm going to go to the Newsmax Christmas party. I'm going solo. And I ordered a velvet suit. Ladies, are you listening? Are you listening, ladies? Yeah, I ordered a velvet suit. I know. It's really cool. It's a very beautiful shade of green for Christmas and black lapels. Then I got a really, I'm not kidding, very cool, stylish shirt with a butterfly collar, no tie. I'm not kidding. Red velvet bell-bottom pants. Yeah, I know. So fantastic. I am going to be, this is going to be amazing. I will take pictures. I'm just waiting to see if it'll arrive today. I've been tracking the package. They said it would be here by December the 2nd. So we'll see. But I'm going to be styling and profiling. Styling and profiling tonight, people. Maybe defiling, I don't even know. Here is Mark Kelly. He's sounding a little bit nervous.
President Trump is trying to silence me.
No.
Threatening to kill me for saying what is true.
No.
And he sent his Secretary of Defense after me. And it's not going to work.
Yeah, well.
Here's how we got here.
How's that?
A week and a half ago,
Yeah.
Senator Slotkin and I, along with others who also served in the military and the intelligence communities, we released a video with a simple...
You said that they should defy illegal orders, and then you can't name any illegal orders, which means basically you want to cause sedition. So nice try, and you can plead it to the court of public opinion all you want, but you're in a buttload of trouble there, Marky Mark. He's going to be getting coal in his stocking. Hopefully he gets it in prison. We'll see. I doubt it. But a lot of politicians are going to be getting gold. You are a smart planner, so you deserve silver. That's why Birch Gold is giving you silver. For every $5,000 invested in gold, which is up 60% this year, they're going to give you a free ounce of glorious silver, which has gone up 60% in value this year. You can give that to the kids. You can put that coin in the stocking for the kids. Whatever you want to do with it, carry it around your pocket, show it off, whatever. Flip it, kind of when you walk into the casino, just like you're something nobody else does. Just flip it with up in the air and then catch it, kind of like the Joker. You can do whatever you want with it. Whatever you want to do. No, Two-Face. Didn't Two-Face do that? He'd choose, Anyway. You know what? I should do that. I got my silver coin when I'm wearing my velvet suit tonight. Walk in flipping that coin. The ladies will be like, who is that loser? Anyway, let Birch Gold help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA and physical gold. For every $5,000, you get an ounce of silver for your stocking, for your kids, whatever. Learn them how to learn them how. Teach them how. to invest their money smartly. How about that? Just text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for this offer. Again, Rob to 989898 today, because Birch Gold's free silver with qualifying purchase ends December 22nd. That's coming up real soon. What do I want to cover up here next? Oh, here's something kind of good news. How about this? I'll get out my winning jingle, because gas prices are setting record lows.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning.
Lots of winning.
It's oh so good.
It is. Here's a Colorado woman on social media this morning. You wouldn't believe what gas in this location is.
The gas was $1.82.
What?
And I just paid under $16 for the gas.
The gas was $1.82, and she just paid $16 to fill her car. Here's a guy in Oklahoma.
There is no way I'm seeing what I'm seeing right now. Moore, Oklahoma, $1.99 a gallon.
What?
Unbelievable.
I know.
I can't believe my eyes right
now. Yeah, there you go. This is why the Democrats are, coming up with the next thing and trying to distract you and all this and saying the economy sucks. They're not going to be able to lie big enough for the greatness that is happening in this country and how great this Christmas is going to be. I was at Best Buy. I bought a stove because my apartment stove sucks so badly, and if I'm going to live there a couple of years, I can't have a crappy stove. So I'm going to take the crappy stove and I'm going to move it into my storage unit. I told them, I said, I'll let you keep the stove. And she says, well, you're not supposed to do that. It's against the rules. I'm going to leave the stove. They're like, but that's against the rules. I said, screw it then. I'll put your crappy stove in storage and I'll take the stove with me when I leave. But I'm not working with this crappy stove. Anyway, I was at the Best Buy. And the guy said, how was Black Friday? He goes, it was amazing. It was the biggest Black Friday we've seen forever. And Best Buy is saying that this year is going to be amazing. In-store sales, online sales, and everything. You know why? Because people have money. More people traveled this Thanksgiving than in decades. You know why? Because the economy is so good and so great and so awesome. There you go. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. There's a lot of politicians that should be getting coal in their stockings for streamers. Look at all you guys watching. Duckman 558. Pretty sure I won't be seeing votes. There you go. Nice. Tim Votes. What a moron. Marcy Weist 3106. You're new. Hello. How are you? Deplorable Dinosaur, always one of my favorites. Marcy Weist, you already said that. I love this. Kris Kringle's Attic Buckaroo. Kris Kringle's Attic Buckaroo. That's fantastic. That's a cool name. I love that. Thanks God it's over. Quoting the Bible. Okay, sure, whatever. Thank God it's over. Not sure what's over, but, whatever. Whatever works. Whatever works for you. Whatever floats your boat, unless you're a Venezuelan drug cartel member. Whatever sinks your boat in that case. Oh, yes, Vicky Stevens. We want pictures in the suit. I will if I get the damn suit. I'm just waiting to get my notification here. They said it was going to be here on the 2nd. And I said, I wanted a novelty kind of cool suit, but I didn't want a cheap, crappy, like Christmas trees and sparkles, that crap. So I got a kick-ass suit. So I'm just waiting to get it. And if I don't get it tonight, by tonight I'll just return it because I wanted to do it for the party. When I was in Minneapolis, I used to host an annual cigar smoke for women, and I was the only man invited. And every year I'd get a suit for it. And the last time I hosted, I got a green velvet suit. So my second velvet suit. It's going to look badass. We will see. All right, what are we going to do here? Caroline Levitt. Oh yes. Here we go.
Just hold up a second, Rob. I gotta play a little drop for you.
Dig it.
I gotta find a way to work this out. I love that apartment. It's so cozy. I'm ensconced in velvet. If it was socially acceptable.
I know you would drape yourself in velvet.
Yes. I hope I get my velvet suit by tonight. You know why I'm doing it? Because I'm frickin' single now. You know, I ordered my own artwork. I ordered a Led Zeppelin canvas print for the loft, for God's sake. Oh, my God. And in answer to your next question, I am overcompensating for something. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, Newsmax Christmas party will never be the same. Caroline Levitt eviscerates the New York Times reporter over the unequivocally false Trump hit piece, and she got medieval. I love me some sweet Caroline.
I will point out one fake news story over the weekend before I let you all go from the New York Times.
When she got done chewing this woman out, she had to floss.
That took about 1/3 of the president's daily calendar and his daily schedule, and said that he's doing less than he did in his first term, or he might not be fit for the job. That is unequivocally false, and it's deeply unfortunate that this story was written by the same outlet and the same reporter
New York Times.
who wrote this. Biden
Katie Rogers
is doing 100% fine after tripping while boarding Air Force One. Oh, same outlet, same reporter who wrote that President Trump is not fit for the job. Are you kidding me? You all see him almost every single day. He is the most accessible president in history. He is taking meetings around the clock. Another one. Biden declared, quote, healthy and vigorous after his first presidential physical. I don't see headlines like that too often about this president.
Yeah, and then there's the MRI. There is a question. Trump MRI results drop as White House confronts mounting questions over President's health. They're questions that are nonsensical, made up of whole cloth by the leftist media. There's nothing wrong with Donald Trump. He's kicking ass. But here is Caroline Levitt, of course, addressing that.
As part of President Trump's comprehensive executive physical, advanced imaging was performed because men in his age group benefit from a thorough evaluation of cardiovascular and abdominal health.
Of course.
The purpose of this imaging is preventative, to identify any issues early, confirm overall health, and ensure the president maintains long-term vitality and function.
Gotcha.
President Trump's cardiovascular imaging was perfectly normal. No evidence of arterial narrowing impairing blood flow or abnormality.
Meanwhile, President Biden's doctor was asked.
Dr. O'Connor, were you ever told to lie about the president's health?
On the advice of counsel, I must respectfully decline to answer based upon the physician-patient privilege and in reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. I am not a lawyer. I must follow my lawyer's advice in this matter. I must respectfully decline to answer based on the physician-patient privilege and reliance on my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. On my right under
I think you get the point. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show is next. If I were you, I wouldn't go anywhere.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show, hour number 3 of the show, as we get ready for the holiday season, Christmas season. I'm looking forward to the season. I really am. I was already thinking about what would be the first Christmas movie of the year. There's some I don't know if I can watch It's a Wonderful Life again, but at least by myself. I live by myself now. So I don't know if I can do It's a Wonderful. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I love the movie. I think the first movie I'm going to watch is going to be Scrooged, the classic from Bill Murray in 1988. That's one of my all-time favorites. My version of Christmas Carol is George C. Scott's 1984 made-for-television Christmas Carol. That's the best. It just is the best. Alistair Sim, sure, I get you. Muppets, not so crazy, but the story is endearing and all of that. But it's George C. Scott. There's nobody who embodies Scrooge. There's nobody who embodies the joy of Scrooge waking up on Christmas morning like George C. Scott did in 1984. Oh my God. And there's some other silly movies. Elf, obviously. Elf is fun. I was James. Help me out, Brian. James was in The Godfather. You're screaming at your phone right now. You're going, Rob, I get you. What?
James Caan?
James Caan, dear Lord. I didn't take my alpha brain today, I guess. James Caan, the way he acted in that movie, he acted like he was annoyed that he had to be in that movie. And then I realized that was perfect for the character he was playing. So I'm trying to decide whether he thought the movie was stupid and he had to lower himself to do it, or he was just being the character perfectly. I'm going to lean into the being the character perfectly, because it's a silly movie. It's a fantastic movie. They're probably going to do a sequel. I can't believe they haven't done a sequel to Elf. Again, they're great movie. I love it. I love it. And I also I do a menorah. I'm not Jewish, but I do a menorah. I have a little electronic menorah with the electric candles, and I follow the nights of Hanukkah and all that, because it's important to me. It's important. And I'm going to be taking the last, the week of Christmas. I'm taking the week of Christmas off in the next week. And the reason being is I'm going back to Kansas City to see my family, my kids anyway, and the dogs. And this is the first time in my life I've been away from my daughter more than like 3 days. Honestly, it's 20 years. So I've been without her for 5 months, which has been very hard. My son, he went to college and all that. But the dogs, oh my God, I'm going to love those dogs. I'm going to do one of those, soldiers at the airport kind of welcomes with my dogs, because they're going to go nuts when I get home. I'm really looking forward to it, and I need to take those days off. And then I'm going to do a lot of work on my studio here in D.C. I ordered this desk. This has been a friggin' point of personal privilege. I hope you're not bored by this. So I ordered this friggin' desk. And if you looked on my social media, when you see the desk, I had the same people build the desk who built Stephen A. Smith's desk on TV, his desk. So I ordered from the same company that did that. And I'm spending my own money on this. This is the largest roll of the dice in my entire life. I put all my stuff in the back of a U-Haul. I moved out here. I hired a moving company. They lost all of my jeans. Of all the things they could lose, they lost all of my jeans. Of all the things. Nothing else. Nothing. They just beat the crap out of the other rest of the crap. But then they lost all of my jeans. But anyway, so I rolled the dice, moved it out here, set up the studio here, got this great studio in Old Town Alexandria near the Potomac River. Mark Giuliani has given me this studio, and I have built this studio with every friggin' extra dime that I had. It was like when I dressed up my 76 Dodge Aspen when I was in high school and put a stereo system. Every dime has gone into this studio, and if you see it, it is freaking beautiful. It's a late-night TV set. Not quite as good as Gutfeld, but pretty darn close to the other late-night shows. And I've done it myself. My own dime, every friggin' dime, all of my money. Anyway, and this desk is coming in, and when you see it, it's going to be even hotter than the velvet suit tonight. And if you look on my social media at Rob Carson Show, you're going to go, oh, my God. But I have had gone to hell to get this thing. Because I had to order it, had to do this, had to do that. It's overseas, had to send it. Then 2 days ago, they informed me, the importer said, you've got to fill out all this paperwork, and you've got to get a notary public, and you've got to get power of attorney, and you're going to pay a $5,000 fine. I'm like, what the hell? So literally for the last 2 days, I have been, I found a notary public. I had to go through all of this paperwork. I have the attention span of a fruit fly. This, while also setting up alimony through the state of Kansas. I need a vacation, in other words. How's that sound? Life throws a lot at you sometimes, but you know what? Things could be a lot worse. I do mean that, and I swear to God, the next 2 weeks, you're gonna get Christmas up the yin yang. You're gonna get so much joy and love and happiness. You're gonna get sick of it. You're gonna go, oh my God, I can't believe it. This show is gonna be as joyful as Jasmine Crockett is stupid. That's how joyful we're gonna be. It's gonna be ridiculously joyful. You're not gonna be able to stand it. I love it. So Dan Bongino is torching the deep state divine after the New York Post run a hit piece. Says she's triggered by reform agenda exposing old guard corruption. Now, Miranda Devine did a big expose on the FBI and all these FBI agents. 115-page report compiled by self-appointed alliance of active and retired agents who openly admit they were embedded during the Biden administration. And Miranda Devine went full Candace Owens, went full Tucker Carlson, and questioned Dan Bongino, who is a good and decent man, a very respected and an American badass, by the way. I've known him for about 18 years, and Kash Patel is doing a great job as the FBI director, and they're trying to cast aspersions on him, and I can't believe Miranda Devine fell for it.
They asked for a 6-month sort of report card on Kash Patel and Dan Bongino's performance, and they found 80% of their responses were negative. And I guess,
hold on. You mean the same FBI that all of them were working out of the crappy Hoover building and a whole bunch of them didn't return to work, like 94% of the people in Washington, D.C. didn't return, the federal workers, to work after COVID? And then, they were told to get off their asses and go across the country instead of just sitting in Washington, D.C., where, of course, Kash Patel has caused the crime rate to go down dramatically, lowest murder rate in American history. And are you talking about the same people who raided Mar-a-Lago and the same people who are weaponized against Donald Trump to go after him and the same people who went after en masse 24 agents per person at January the 6th? Are you saying those people don't like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel?
And what I would have hoped is that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino would take this criticism on board as it's coming from, Trump-aligned people. This alliance actually endorsed.
She hasn't been taking her alpha brain because she doesn't remember all the crap that the FBI did to Donald Trump and his followers.
Trump publicly last October, saying that he had the best options for FBI reform. And so this criticism is coming with a good spirit. And,
no, it's not.
It can be taken in that sense to help Patel and Bongino improve.
Oh, my God. Miranda Devine, I swear to God, what is wrong with you, girl? Their critique, are you ready? You better sit down. Patel is inexperienced. Bongino is a clown. Oh, tell it to his face. Tell that to Dan Bongino, American Badass's face. Tell him that. It's like what's his name? Mark Kelly, criticizing Pete Hegseth. Both are too active on social media. Oh, my God. Well, that is certainly. Oh, my God. Really? What are we? Are we high school girls here? And both refused to bow to old guard culture that ran the FBI. Yeah, here's the deal. Further, some exposition about the people at the FBI who are complaining about Dan Bongino and Kash Patel coming in and just completely destroying an agency that was rife with filthy, rotten, and corrupt, and it put people in jail for nothing, like the January the 6ers. Agents openly express contempt for the president. Field office televisions are often turned to left-wing propaganda channels like MS Now and CNN. The Bureau's recruitment pipeline prioritizes left-leaning hires, especially from education backgrounds. Cash and Dan took over an agency with approval rating below 40%. Knowing that, they came in as disruptors and are choosing to do things differently. Of course, that's going to receive criticism from the old guard and outside pundits. It's to be expected. In the meantime, violent crime arrests by the FBI up 100%. See, the bureaucrats are tired of, they have to get off their butts and do something. They just hate that. Oh, I just love this. Espionage arrests, 40%. Homicide rate, double-digit drop from 2024. Child victims identified or located, 23% interest. Nihilistic violent extremist arrests, almost 500% increase. They've also turned over 40,000 documents to the Congress. Miranda Devine, my goodness, what are you thinking? Maybe you need a Christmas break too. I don't know what you need, to be quite honest. For you to forsake reason after being so journalistically curious about all of this, honestly, I think maybe you're the one who needs to do the self-examination, not Dan Bongino and Cash Patel. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
rejoin.
Dig it. I got some audio.
Poor little Democrats. Are you guys okay today? I came in to check on you. Every time Trump does something good, you guys spaz out. Would you guys shut up and let him work?
Because it's pending in terms of appellate status and what we are going to do for the next steps, the judicial process can make whatever determination it wants, but we, the FBI, and our partners at the DOJ have numerous options to proceed, and we're executing on all those options. So we're not done.
Any detail available?
I would say stay tuned for right after Thanksgiving, and you'll see multiple responses, in my opinion.
So you've initiated some cultural changes at the FBI. That's something that many people have talked about. Some people like it, some people don't.
Maybe this is why the FBI gave them such a poor review, and Miranda Devine bid on it. It's really ridiculous. That's Kash Patel, and you may have missed the beginning. It was a little bit. There was some Metallica playing, you see. DOJ, it looks like new charges are going to hit Comey and Letitia James this week, so they're not giving up. They're going to come back harder than ever. Thank you very much. That, of course, being Kash Patel. James Comey seeking new indictments against James Comey and Letitia James after a Clinton judge dismissed both of their cases because she was digging for some way to get rid of the case and said that attorney Lindsay Halligan's appointment violated the appointments clause of the Constitution. Blah, 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 blah. But she did it with... extreme prejudice? Without prejudice, which means it was only dismissed temporarily. So Kash Patel's not giving up on that. Not giving up on that. So all of the, there's a lot of corruption going on in California, a lot of corruption going on in Minnesota. Tim Walz, the governor up there, is a complete moron. He's the R word, according to Donald Trump. But one of the biggest scams of all time is Obamacare, and it really was designed to fail. It was also designed by insurance companies. Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you? Yeah, you knew that if you were paying attention back then. I was talking about it. Actually, I was in music radio back then. I was probably playing Katy Perry or something and, doing Hollywood Dish or whatever. But about 15 years ago, they were gearing up to basically... screw us over. It was meant to fail because government healthcare was going to take over, and in the meantime, the insurance companies, they wrote it, and they made a bleep ton of money. I mean, a bleep ton of money. Here is state senator, he is a federal senator, Roger Marshall from Kansas, where I moved from, talking about how much the insurance companies have gotten out of Obamacare.
Now, we're giving big insurance companies $150 billion a year.
Do you know how big a company you have to just make $10 billion? $150 billion going to insurance companies from us.
Insurance companies wrote Obamacare. We want to take that money we've been given to insurance companies, and instead we want to give it to patients, give it to consumers. When we pair that with price tags, when we give patients, put that money in a healthcare savings account and give them the prices at hospitals, then they can make choices. They can become consumers again. Art Laffer thinks we could save $1 trillion a year if we do just that.
We got screwed over, man. We got screwed the hell over. This is a piece from the Gateway Pundit, I believe. Insurance brokers can sign people up with nothing more than a name and a birthday. The government pays the full premium, whether the person uses the coverage or even knows they were enrolled. And what does that mean? What percentage of people are enrolled and the insurance companies are just taking their money? Would you believe 35%?
Insurance companies wrote Obamacare, and now they're up to getting $150 billion of money from the federal government. Yep. And 35% of these patients are fraudulent. They're ghost patients. 35% of the people in Obamacare don't have one claim. So we need to fix the fraud. We need to put this money in the hands of patients and then give them price tags, and we'll have a winner.
People need to frickin' go to jail for this. They just sign them. All you need is a name to sign up, and the government will give you the money. The insurance company will get the money. No care provided. Wow. And all of the big insurance companies moved way toward Democrats with all of their donations. This is the same crap that happened in Minnesota with the fraud up there, defrauding Medicaid and Medicare and all of these things, feed the children, whatever. Our government, I swear to God, we are worse than the Soviet Union ever dreamed of. I said we were as corrupt as the Soviet Union, but with a $6 trillion, $7 trillion budget. And they put the pedal to the metal when Joe Biden was the president, too, by the way. Wow, wow, wow. This is Representative Jason Smith talking about all of the money that was spent for insuring nobody, just pocketing the money. The insurance companies knew this, too, by the way. The insurance company knew it. They did it with a wink and a nod to the Democrat Party.
What the Democrats have been focused on is just the Obamacare exchanges, which is just 7% of the entire population. 24 million American. And when you look at Obamacare, you can see all the fraud that's within it. Just think about this. Last year, in 24 of the 24 million people on the Obamacare exchanges, 12 million did not even have one medical claim. Oh, wow. Are you telling me that those 12 million Americans were that healthy and never went to the doctor? The simple fact is they clearly didn't even know that they had health insurance. But guess what? Those insurance companies, they sure were subsidized from the federal government.
Hold on a sec. I don't know if my calculator will go this high. But let's just say, and this would be dwarfed by the possibility of family coverage, but let me find my calculator here. Just say 12 million people. Maybe you can figure it out for me. 12 million claims, 12 million policies that were not being used, meaning that the insurance companies just got the money from the government without providing coverage, 12 million. And say, for instance, there's a family plan of $24,000. So just multiply that by $24,000 and realize how bloody bad we got completely screwed by Obamacare. I mean, what an awful, 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 awful thing. Hold on. I don't think my calculator goes 12 million and a million and a million times 24 equals 2.88 billion, I guess, a year. It says 2.88 E11, whatever the hell that means. Yeah. No, it was even more than that. I think it might be 2 trillion. Somebody add it up and tell me. Just put it on the chat there. That'd be fine. Ridiculous. Here is a little bit more from Roger Marshall about Obamacare insurance scouts. Did you know about this?
And what they did is now Obamacare is paying insurance scouts to go out there. All they need is a patient's birth date and their name, and they're turning them into Obamacare.
Wow.
And then the federal government is paying the entire premium. So the patients don't even know they're on Obamacare. 35% of the people on Obamacare never file a claim. That's too many. So I think that Obamacare is what's created this fraudulent opportunity more than anything else. And again, Democrats own this. Obamacare has been the law of the land for 15 years. They own this crisis. To your point, President Trump, like myself, is a business person. We want a business person approach, put the money back in the hands of patients, make them consumers again, give them price tags, and then that's going to bring the cost of health care down for everybody.
I got to tell you, you want to talk about a screw job with no dinner. I mean, no dinner, no wine, no lube. Just a screw job. A 15-year-long screw job. Man, I got to tell you, I knew it was going to be bad. I had no idea it was going to be this bloody corrupt. Barack Obama. Yeah, he's great. He's a great president. Dear God, are you kidding me? Let's take a break and come back. Trump is committed to giving you $2,000. Yeah, that's on the way.
There's no place like jail for Kelly to stay. Alyssa Slotkin should be there too. Their sentencing will be a happy day, 'cause they broke the law and they will get their due. I'm watching Jason Crow on CNN. He is looking scared, trying hard to dodge the FBI. Miss Houlihan looked nervous. She was unprepared. I will be delighted when they're all because there's no place like jail for those six to stay. In cells where all of them should be. A court-martial, it could come any day. Lock Mark Kelly up and throw away the key.
Letitia James is gonna be in trouble. The FBI is looking at her loan. They just launched a new investigation. The name Letitia gave was not her own. I hope they nail her, jail her, send her to the slammer. She should be fired, retired for all the laws she broke. Letitia James is through, you know it's true. I'll be excited when she's indicted. Letitia's gonna get handcuffed and I think I like it. I'll be delighted when she's indicted. I know that she's guilty. Letitia's going down. She'll be run out of town.
Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, not necessarily prevent them from happening.
Buffoon. Jasmine, she is a buffoon. District no longer exists. Out of the Congress real soon. I'll be glad when she's gone from D.C. No Jasmine, it will be pure bliss. I know that this may not sound PC. That mouth on her I will not miss. Buffoon. Jasmine is a total fake. Her ghetto accent's not real. How much more can we take? Buffoon. She was drawn out of her seat. Will be in Congress no longer. Her leaving will be a treat.
You know, I had mentioned that a lot of Democrats
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
didn't want to step on Michael.
Everywhere you go.
You know, I got a velvet suit. He's got a velvet voice.
Take a look at the 5 and 10.
It's glistening once again.
With candy canes and silver
lights
lanes
aglow. I'm a classically trained vocalist, actually. I am really. Sang from second grade through my sophomore year in college. Went to All-State and everything. I was a really good vocalist. I should do some Christmas karaoke this year. Because I'm single now. Woo! Yeah! All right! Brooke Rollins, the Secretary of Agriculture, since Democrats have been, stealing so much SNAP benefits and giving it to illegals and everything, she says, are you ready? You better sit down. This is so cool. This is like Pete Hegseth blowing terrorists out of the water. This is like no prisoners. No prisoners. The 21 Democrat states who are not turning over their data, the audit of the where the money's going and all that, they're going to get cut off.
We had a couple of people receiving benefits in 6 states. In February of this year, we asked for all the states for the first time to turn over their data to the federal government, to let the USDA partner with them to root out this fraud, to make sure that those who really need food stamps are getting them, but also to ensure that the American taxpayer is protected. 21 states said yes, not surprised. 29 states said yes, not surprisingly, the red states. And that's where all of that data, that fraud comes from. But 21 states, including California, New York, and Minnesota, the blue states, continue to say no. So as of next week, we have begun and will begin to stop moving federal funds into those states until they comply and they tell us and allow us to partner with them to root out this fraud and to protect the...
Oh, you can hear Tim Valtz, old Tim Valtz saying, the Republicans are trying to starve children. No, we're cutting you off until you're honest about it, you slimy B-words. Honestly, really, look at the amount of, just in the show today, you should go back and listen to the podcast today. All of the trillions now of dollars stolen from you and me for illegals, for Obamacare, states like Illinois, states like California. We found out in California, Afghanis who are brought here unvetted get $87,000 in benefits. $87,000 in benefits. In Illinois, illegals get better health care than the average citizen, and free daycare, and free housing, and SNAP benefits. Dear God, how much do you have to bust your butt to just pay for the damn groceries? These are the abuses and usurpations the founders talked about. I mean, I swear to God. Wow. Wow. It is, just to be quite honest, shameful. Shameful. Here's Donald Trump talking yesterday. He was at the White House. Did you see Melania Trump, how she decorated the White House? And the press isn't being complete D-words for Richard anymore. Remember last time he was president and she made the White House pretty and they complained about it and she tried to redo the Rose Garden because it was becoming such a mud pit and they all complained about it. And then Donald Trump, of course, building a ballroom and they screamed and shrieked about that. And then last year, Joe Biden had dancing, transgendered morons dancing around the White House doing, Broadway show tunes featuring the cast of Wicked, Out of Work Now, whatever, I don't even know. It was just so ridiculous. And then, of course, they made Easter into Trans Day of Visibility. I didn't even mention Christmas last year. Meanwhile, Melania Trump, the most beautiful first lady ever, totally kicks Jackie O's butt. I mean, not even close. Not even close. Are you kidding me? Melania Trump, oh my God. And she's stylish and she speaks like 6 languages and she's made this thing look freaking beautiful. It's beautiful. I want to get over there. I'm going to get over there. Even if I have to serve drinks, I'm going to go over there. And see the White House. But here is Donald Trump last night. He appeared and he talked about the troops who were shot. And the Democrat Party, who blamed the National Guard, Donald Trump's deployment of the National Guard, on Democrats bringing unvetted Afghanis into the country and one of them driving across the country to shoot them. And they blamed Donald Trump for bringing safety to Washington, D.C. because these people are awful. They are awful. Oh, by the way, Gary Beckstrom, the father of the 20-year-old, I'll try to get through this, West Virginia National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom, my daughter's age, wrote last week, "My baby girl has passed on to glory. If I don't want to talk, don't be offended. It's been a horrible tragedy." 20 years old. Here's Donald Trump.
I want to just pay my respects to the National Guard and those 2 incredible people. One is no longer with us. One is looking down and loves her parents. I spoke to her parents the other night, and she's looking down, and she's so proud of her country, and she's so loved her parents so much, and her parents couldn't believe what happened, could not believe it, what happened to their baby, what happened to their daughter. She's gone. And we have another one who's fighting for his life, as you know. and he's a fabulous young man, both of them were the best everything, the best of their class, and maybe he'll be okay. He's going through a lot, but maybe he'll be okay.
Andrew Wolf is his name, by the way. He's 24 years old. And he's apparently moving his toes and moving his eyes. So amazing. And here's the Democrat Party. The ex-boyfriend of the National Guards woman who was shot in Washington, D.C., said she wanted to make a difference despite being spat on by the public. Sarah Beckstrom succumbed to her injuries last week. Her fellow guardsman, Andrew Wolf, were ambushed while on duty near the White House. Her former boyfriend, Adam Carr, whom she dated for 6 years. My daughter dated a kid, a young man for 6 years, and he ghosted her. Son of a bee. I should stop by his house this Christmas. Hey, how you doing there, buddy? How you doing there? Yeah, let's have a little talk. Back to Adam Carr talking about his departed. She was like, people spit toward us, cuss us out, throw stuff at us. We can't do anything. She can't detain anybody. She can't stop them from doing stuff. They told them to call the cops. Yeah. Carr said the 20-year-old questioned why they were deployed to D.C. if they can't do anything, and Beckstrom thought it was pointless because of it. Beckstrom joined the West Virginia National Guard because she wanted to make a positive change. She was hoping to do so while in D.C. when she was deployed there in August. She wanted to make a difference. She wanted to extremely do that. Beckstrom was shot, was typically not able to complete her dying wish. She got deputized there, and they gave them no rights to do anything. So, and the Democrat Party blames Donald Trump for deploying her for her murder. I mean, I swear to God in heaven, you people are so broken. You people are so disgusting, sick, and broken. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're just beginning to see the water lapping on the shore of your destruction because a tsunami is coming to kick your asses. This Christmas is going to be amazing because there is a wave of faith and patriotism that is going to sweep you out to sea. It is going to. You want to be on the right side of history on this 80-20 issue, you better get on the right side of history because the Democrat Party is going to be washed away. They are going to be washed away. And this isn't just a political event. This is a spiritual event because the Democrat Party has bedded down with evil. I said that the election of Donald Trump, after attempting to murder him and put him in jail and all of this and all of the wickedry that they did against him, and he won, and he raised his fist to the sky and said, fight, 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 after they tried to kill him. The only man in human history after all of this. And I said, this was the yin to the yin of evil. For every action, there is an equal opposite reaction. Well, guess what? The reaction is here, and you better get on the right side of it. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Rob.
Here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1.
Silver and gold, silver and gold. Everyone wishes for silver and gold.
That is, of course, Burl
How
Ives.
do you measure
From Rudolph
its
the Red-Nosed
worth?
Reindeer, Rankin Bass production.
Just by the pleasure it gives here on
You know, they're so funny, those old productions, Frosty the Snowman and all that. And I watched them when I was a kid, obviously. I'm a Gen Xer, but they are still very, very popular. There's a guy, I'm going to try to find this real quick. He does live-action versions of it just in his apartment, and they are so damn funny. I swear to God. Hold on. Cameron Cortinas. Instagram. Cameron Cortinas of Instagram at Cortinas Cameron. You got to watch this guy. He's just this doofy kind of Gen Zer with a beard, and he does he does them stop motion animation as himself, being the Burgermeister, Meisterburger, and everything. It is freaking hilarious. I'm going to pin it right now to the top of my Twitter feed. So there you go. Pinning it to the top of the Twitter feed at Rob Carson Show. Watch this because he's really funny. And it's not political or anything, and his Cameron Cortinas. Check it out. The reason why I played that song is because you can get silver when you buy gold from Birch Gold right now through the 22nd of this month. For every $5,000 invested in the gold, let me see what the price of gold is today. Hold on one second. For every $5,000 invested in gold, you get a free 1 ounce of silver. 1 ounce of silver, but it's through the end of the month. So you're going to be investing the money, all right? So you're not, it's not like you're $4,215. $4,215, so we're back above $4,200 today. So for every $5,000 you invest in silver, you get a free ounce coin of silver. You can give it to the kids for Christmas, whatever the hell. You can just have it there in your pocket, like Two-Face from the Batman movies, whatever. Flip it, whatever. It's just kind of cool to have. So for every $5,000 you buy, get an ounce of silver. And also you can trust Birch Gold. Birch Gold is who I invest my money with. They're a great company. There are a lot of people selling gold out there, but they've got a A+ rating from the BBB and all of that. And I've been talking about them forever. And they've got my money. So you think I'm going to mislead you? No, I'm not going to. Thank you very much. So text my name, Rob, to 989898 to claim your eligibility for this offer. Again, text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold if you want to do that. Okay. Donald Trump, he's trying to get you a little something. I don't know if it's going to be there for time for Christmas, but he is committed to $2,000 tariff dividend checks. And you know what? Listen, I don't need it. I mean, would I love to have $2,000? Hell yeah, but I don't need it. But, I mean, there are a lot of people who went through a hell of a lot of suffering when Joe Biden was the president, because Joe Biden was the worst president ever. And it would be nice if we're getting this bounty from other countries that maybe give people who need it a little bit back. I mean, and then not unvetted illegals coming from Afghanistan. I'm talking about people who need it, who suffer. So a lot of good things are happening, by the way. You got no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. What is that going to mean for you Social Security recipients? Deductibility on American-made auto loans, all your interest on that. Oh my God, man! Last time I had no interest was in the bedroom with my ex-wife. Hey, I'll be here all week. I had no interest for years. My God, it was fantastic. Anyway, Jim Gossett did something about Donald Trump sending you a $2,000 tariff check. I think you'll enjoy it.
Tariff checks, they are on the way.
Ho, ho, ho.
I am sending you $2,000, could come any day.
Hey.
Tariff checks, Democrats are blue.
Yay.
They are like Mr. Scrooge, don't care about you.
No, they don't.
Tariffs they have worked.
Doom, doom, doom.
Billions they brought in. Liberals they are irked. But they'll never win.
Ho, ho, ho.
Wealth we want to share from new revenue. That is why I'm sending out $2,000 to each of you. Oh, tariff checks, help is on the way.
That's really cool.
It will be a needed boost to your take-home pay.
I think that would be nice. Then Jim Gossett did that. Isn't he a genius? My God. This is the only show in America that is leading edge opinion and does comedy. You know, Scott Jennings has a little radio show. He doesn't do comedy. Nobody does comedy. Nobody makes a point with humor. There's one guy who's nationally syndicated, and he does his own parodies, and they're terrible. I mean, I like the guy. Don't get me wrong. He's a great guy. But his parodies are terrible. I've got a guy who writes and does better stuff than Paul Shanklin did when I was working with Limbaugh. I mean, makes Paul Shanklin look like a piker. Nothing against Paul Shanklin. But, I mean, Jim Gossett is a friggin' genius. That was Jim Gossett. If you would help him out, go to patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. He sent me that and another song today. So you're going to get 2 songs every day. I would encourage you to share them on social media. Tell them where you got it. Rob Carson Show, and then help out Jim. Give him $10 a month. Give him $20 a month. Whatever. It's worth it. You're going to get 2 songs a day. He's already done 3,000 songs for me in 5 years. He's ridiculously talented. More than that. Maybe 4,000. I have no idea. I've lost track. Patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Alrighty. What do we got here? Who's watching? Deplorable Dinosaur. Marcy Weist, you're still there. Woo! Duckman, ever see Borat? Yeah, pretty funny. Henry says, this is not financial advice, but silver is a great investment. I bought it when it was $17 an ounce, and it's now creeping up on $6. Good job, Henry. Thank you, brother. You're right, man. It is kind of crazy, right, that silver's $60 an ounce. What is silver today? Hold on a second. Let me look. Price of silver. Price of silver. Gold's $42.15. So that's pretty cool. Silver is at, hold on. I know it's kind of boring. It is at, oh, that's not the right site. They're just trying to sell you silver and not give you the dang price. What the hell's the deal? It is, again, another site trying to sell you silver. It's not my guys. It is at $58.58. 58, $60. $60, man. $60 an ounce. Holy hell. Over on Love Francis 2 is on Rumble. I haven't seen you there before. Welcome to the club. Gramdad times 59. Good to see you. You drink it. Always nice to see. Best Cork. Down with Zoran Mondami, Moran Zamboni. Nice. I call him Moran Monkami. I know. I come up with this stuff myself. I'm super smart. Sportech, Astro Turtle, which I believe is a sexual position. Sam Ken Potter, hello. All right, I'll be back. Here we go. Come on. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Just like the ones I like some non-traditional versions of Christmas songs. Nothing wrong with it. This is kind of interesting. Americans have grown sour on a long-time key ingredient to the American dream, that is higher education. And higher education did it to themselves. You'll notice on the live stream, I have Mike Rowe's picture up here. I'll show you in a second here. 2/3 of registered voters say the 4-year degree isn't worth the cost, according to the NBC News poll. NBC News! A dramatic decline over the past decade. 33% agree a 4-year degree is worth the cost because people have gotten a better chance to get a job and earn more money. And while they're offering worthless degrees, they have woke professors. They are failing, and the price of education is stupid right now. Tuition at private 4-year college up 75% since 1995, much higher in some areas. My son graduated with like $80,000 in debt. He's got a great education. He graduated completely left of center. He was kind of that way when he left. But, this is good news because a lot of kids are recognizing you're not going to get a lot of happiness in a cubicle. And maybe you could build stuff. Maybe you could do stuff. Maybe you could weld. Maybe you could do whatever. And here's Mike Rowe to talk about that. He always has some great words.
We got a skills gap. It's wide. It's big. We got 7.2 million men who are not participating in the workforce, not looking for work. We got $1.7 trillion in student loans on the books. We got 7.6 million open positions that don't require a 4-year degree. Yep. And yet, we keep lending money we don't have to kids who are never going to be able to pay it back to train them for jobs that don't exist anymore. If we want to close the skills gap, we got to make a more persuasive case for millions of good jobs that nobody knows about.
Yeah. I was when I was in Kansas City. There's a guy who came out and he wrapped this beam in our living room with some beautiful wood. It was I think we might have done maple or whatever. And then the fireplace, because that is really crappy old wood, and he did it. And that's what he did for a living. And I said, "Where did you learn this?" He goes, "I learned it from my dad. I love doing it. I had a degree. I've got a master's degree in accounting or whatever, an MBA, whatever, and MBA." For Jasmine Crockett, that doesn't mean you play basketball. MBA. And he said, I didn't like it. He said, I like working with my hands. I like this, and it's satisfying. And I'm going to tell you, it is very satisfying. From a kid who grew up doing farm work and coming home where you would shower and clog the drain with the dust and dirt from the field you're working in, there's a satisfaction to the exhaustion you feel after a long, hard day like that. And you can leave work at work. So just because you don't have a college degree doesn't mean you can't have a great job and a rewarding life. And Mike Rowe says a lot of those jobs are paying 6 figures and more. 6 figures and more. I got a Christmas party to go to. Woo! Better follow my social media for all the spicy pictures. God bless you guys. God bless Donald Trump as he makes America greater. God bless America is founded. God bless Christmas and Hanukkah. And until tomorrow, which is Wednesday, do not catch the stupid. I'll see you then.
Rob, the velvet suit come in?
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news.